Hey there, Wellspring. Some of you guys know the double blessing of having your physical family also be united with you in the spiritual family of God. And others of you, you have blood family that is not saved, and they're not Christians, and so they're outside the family of God. And so you know, oh so well, how that can be a source not only of grief for you, but also of conflict and tension and even division in the relationships. And Jesus was not unaware of this reality of how the gospel divides families while at the same time creating new spiritual families. And he was not unaware of your situation when he chose you to save you, to adopt you into his own family. But he did speak beforehand to prepare us for this and to call us to count the cost of following him, and ultimately to help us see that he is the most glorious treasure in the universe, worthy of sacrificing all else for. Listen to his words here in Matthew chapter 10 about this cost and the division he brings. Matthew 10 at verse 34. He says, "Do not think that I've come to bring peace on the earth. I've not come to bring peace, but a sword. I have come to set a man against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And whoever does not take up his cross and follow me is not worthy of me." Wow. So not only does Jesus incidentally bring division, but it seems that he even purposes to bring division between you and your loved ones. Swallow that truth for a moment, right? I have come not to bring peace, but a sword. I have come to set a man against his father. You say, how can he say that? I mean, why would he do that? If he loved me, how could he? But don't forget that light necessarily exposes darkness. And when you became light in the Lord, this is for the glory of God and his saving grace that you are now distinctly, sharply divided from darkness. You are no longer of the world, as Jesus says in John 17. The light piercing that darkness is like a sword now, right? Peace can no longer exist between you and unsaved family members and others in the world because you serve two totally different masters now. You now serve Yahweh, and those who are outside the family of God serve Satan. How can there be peace? There won't be peace. But you say, never. Never. I mean, I'm not going to be a Christian if that's what it means to follow Jesus. If Jesus will potentially divide my family, well, that's exactly the point Jesus is making here in the passage. He says, whoever loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. Whoever loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. Listen, Jesus is not like you and me in that he is the sovereign, glorious, holy, infinite creator and Lord of the universe. He is infinitely superior and more valuable than anything in creation. He has self-existing life, while we all depend on him for life and breath and every movement. To love anything or anyone more than him, even a family member, reveals that you do not believe in him for who he really is. You don't have the spiritual sight to see his glory and be so captivated that you gladly submit to such a hard word. And even though you still desperately pray for your unsaved family to see the light, for you, though, you know there's no turning back. Following Jesus you've seen the light. You've seen he's the light of the world. You've heard him speak, and he has the words of eternal life. Where else shall you turn? In fact, to be a disciple of Jesus, to want to be part of his spiritual family, you know, this costs you more than your family relationships. It can cost you your life. And Jesus is worthy of that too. He says there at the end, whoever does not take his cross and follow me is not worthy of me. Now maybe that is hard to hear for you, even though you've been doing church your whole life. But maybe sadly you've bought into an Americanized version of Christianity where there is no cost and there's never consideration that following Christ could actually mean carrying a cross, ready to die every day for him. But if you are a disciple of Jesus, you know that every cost is worth it because Jesus is your Lord and your God. He can keep you. He is stronger than your enemies, and he is your greatest good. He is your sweetest joy, right? Knowing him and becoming like him in his sufferings, that by any means possible, you might attain the resurrection from the dead. Count the cost, beloved. This could hurt your physical family to follow Christ. But God rewards you with many more brothers and sisters and a future family reunion in heaven that far surpasses anything on earth. And it has unending blessing, and God himself is your Father. I mean, the cost is infinitely worth it. Rejoice to be part of the family of God today. And may God strengthen you through every sacrifice.